It's not. uh,
It's recording.
Okay, who's starting it off? Aren't we supposed to like introduce ourselves?
I mean,
Katie Rios, aka Catastrophic.
to be fair,
It's Catastrophic with the K, two I's. Follow my Instagram. Are we not supposed to plug ourselves? Sorry. Go
you
ahead.
can fuck yourself. I don't care. Actually, now that I think about it, most people have like an intro song, but they don't do like an intro verbally.
Well, we could do like coming live.
You mean steal an intro?
Yeah.
We could indeed do that.
I mean, we're not big yet, so we can change it once we get a little bit bigger.
I mean, that's true. That would still be weird though. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a clock. A clock to set a timer. Is there not a... There isn't one on Max.
You pay all that money for them not to give you a clock,
I guess so. I mean, there's a clock, but I don't think you can set like
a
a...
timer.
Yeah,
Just use your phone.
it's over there. It is what it is. Whatever. It's 150. All right. Anyways, what's up, guys? These are gonna be a little weird for a while. Even though Katie doesn't think so, I told her it's just weird recording yourself at first. I don't know. For me, it is at least. So I'm sure she's gonna be awkward and weird.
Probably. But that's just my vibe as a person.
It's hot as fuck. If you say vibe one more time, I told you I'm gonna punch you in the chest.
Vibes.
That's just vibe. Like, I just wanna... like, we don't need to make plans. We can just, like, vibe.
That is a vibe.
That's not...
Just to go out and just see where
That's not
just
an-
everything takes you.
That's not a real person vibe.
I'm not trying to
That's
be a
like,
real person
that's
when
like
I go
I'm
out.
20, I'm
I'm
20
trying to
and I
just-
have no responsibilities. I have nothing to do.
But that's what I want to be like sometimes.
I mean, to be like that sometimes or want to be like that
Yeah,
is
that's
fun in
sometimes.
theory.
No.
But, like, it doesn't... Again,
Well, again.
hold on. The way that you can be like that is you're like, all right, well, we're going to go out Friday night. So we're going to leave at 6 and come home at, like, 2. And we'll just see where the night takes us. But if you're going out to a brunch and then you have shit to do at 1, you can't just be like, well, let's just see where it takes us. No, I know right where it takes us. Where we need to be at 1. Because we have stuff to do.
Well, I guess we're just different people, so. Anyways.
I mean, I don't know if that's a different type of person thing or more just someone who has stuff to do and wants to get it done.
Thanks for the jab.
I know that sounded like a... I didn't mean for it. That sounded fucked up. Christian's an asshole. And now they're also like, who is a Christian? Yeah, that did sound like... My bad. But I am being serious, though. We wanted to record this, so we can't just be like, well, we'll get home when we get home.
I get that, but once I'm out and I start drinking, then I'm like, what's responsibilities?
Well, yeah, I know. It's because when people drink, you become like a 20-year-old again.
It's nice sometimes. Not all times, just sometimes.
I mean, yeah. Well, like, we're going to Carla's this weekend. And, like,
I know.
that's the time where I can relax and be like, all right, well, whatever happens, happens. But
That's true.
brunch is the beginning of the day. You can't
It's
just...
the beginning of
It's the beginning of
just
something
anything.
beautiful. Anyways, so this is what I do. Obviously, like I said, we'll do the other stuff next time, but we're just waiting on a mic. Katie has a mic coming in because this whole setup isn't the most ideal, as you can tell. So I just like look through whatever's on here and just give my useless opinion on it.
That sounds cool.
Plastic surgeon. Doing this every day can snap back loose skin. No creams needed. I bet you it's exercise.
It's probably plastic surgery.
Actually, to be fair, that's probably true. It'd be very weird if a plastic surgeon was like, actually, I'm not even necessary.
work out.
Just work out.
Nah.
Apparently LL Cool J and Kanye are beefing.
Pissing a pair of them Yeezys.
You saw how he pissed on the Grammy,
Pissed
right?
on a Grammy?
Yeah,
When?
he put his Grammy, or one of his Grammys, and I mean, I guess it's his, he can do whatever he wants, but it is a little, I mean, I think maybe he was trying to say, like, I don't care about these Like, it's just I don't know. Anyways, he put it in the toilet, and he literally posted an Instagram story of him peeing on his Grammy.
Well, that's just, I mean, whatever, but it's still like,
I mean,
I don't know. I feel
It
like
is,
because
yeah.
a lot of people do aspire to that, for him to be like, I don't give a fuck, and I'm just gonna piss on this. Am I
are you
allowed to
saying
curse on
Kanye
this?
West has an ego?
What? In breaking news.
I mean, I feel like that's just a Kanye thing, though. Like, when I saw him peeing on it, I was like, all right, that's not crazy. I mean, if LL Cool J posted a video and was pissing on a Grammy, I'd be like, one, where did you get a Grammy? I'm just kidding.
Does he have a Grammy?
I mean, I like-
maybe LL Cool J is just salty
I-
because he doesn't have a Grammy. Possibly.
Just a knock on the door. LL Cool J's, I mean, I like his, obviously, his when we were very little, but I don't think he ever won a Grammy. I don't know. Now that we're on the computer and
not
recording,
sure.
let's see. LL.
But there's some stuff.
Not LLL.
You remember his
LL.
song that came out in like early 2000, Headsprung? Everybody get headsprung.
No, I don't remember that. The only
was
the
a
only song
great
I remember
song.
of his from the 2000s was War. We used to play that in the football locker rooms.
I don't remember that one.
It's time for war. My time is now. Something like that. Also, I love the verbiage on like hip hop news sites. Like LL Cool J slams Kanye for urinating.
Yeah.
Like
It looks
he
like
tweeted something.
he's
you know what I
hosted
mean?
the Grammys.
Well, he's hosted the Grammys, but I don't think he's won one.
No, I don't think he's won a Grammy.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh wait, he did win a Grammy. Best rap solo performance in '92. All right, well
For
then he
what
can say
song?
that. Best solo rap performance.
Oh, performance.
I'm assuming
Mama said
that's
knock
for
you
his
out.
album. Wait, the album's immense success propelled Mama Said Knock You Out. Yeah, I think for his album. Let's see, wait a minute. Where's Grammy? Late career, authentic, no. Continued, no. Breakthrough, radio. None of this says Grammy Awards. Let's see. Oh shit, he's won. Oh wait, he's won 2 Grammys. One for Mama Said Knock You Out, yeah, and then one for Hey Lover. Damn, he's been nominated. Damn.
See, Headsprung, 2005. I love that song.
Where?
And under Soul Train Music Awards.
Oh. Damn, he's a bunch of.
That was a good ass song.
He's got a bunch of Grammy nominations. I didn't realize. I mean, obviously, I knew
like
it was
his
LL Cool
stuff.
J. I mean, I liked the song War specifically. I loved the shit out of that song whenever I was working out. Let's see what else we got. Crips go forward in filing trademark for Nipsey Hussle. I gotta click that. Crips, they're trying to
His
trademark
catchphrase.
Nipsey Hussle's catchphrase.
Which is what?
I don't know. There's so many different. Everything's a catchphrase nowadays. Let's see. The next day, April 1st.
The marathon continues.
I'm reading, fool. You
Oh,
can't.
sorry. I got to it.
Well, first of all-
they don't want to hear
first
us
of
read
all-
a whole thing.
First of all, that's fair. I wasn't sure where it was. I wasn't gonna skim. I was gonna read through it. But also, we can't just talk over each other.
Sorry.
The marathon continues. I mean, the Crips organization has long used the phrase. Oh, so it's a Crip saying. Okay. I mean, I don't know if
I don't know.
if
I had to
can
talk on that. so-
trademark. You don't know how to talk on.
Well, I don't. I mean, obviously, I don't personally know Nipsey Hussle, but I just mean like I didn't know of Nipsey Hussle until he passed away, and he was everywhere.
I only knew a little bit of him, but I wonder if you can you just trademark a phrase like as a gang?
Probably.
I don't think so. You have to be some sort of like entity.
Not really.
I mean, yeah, if I wanted to trademark like Kaiser Sose to trademark that.
No, you can trademark it. It's
No, no,
just a
I know.
process, and you have to pay something or something.
No. Okay, I've looked into it and read up on actual trademarking. I don't think you can. I mean, maybe one of those people could trademark it. Oh wait. Oh my God, never mind. I don't know the rekindling of this conflict may surprise some as corporate communications director for the Crips
See,
LLC.
this is a whole fucking business. Of course they can trademark it.
Well, obviously, yeah, that makes sense. But also, I mean, well, that makes sense because the fucking Hell's Angels is a gang, but they're a company.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, does it make sense?
I mean,
I guess you could argue that like any group of people is just a gang. Like a company of 5,000 people is technically just a gang. They're just normally not an actual gang. I don't know. As many of you can probably tell, I don't know shit about gangs. Besides that apparently they're an LLC. That's crazy. I mean, I did see a couple documents. Like, there was the one with Killer Mike where he was trying to get, I think it was the Crips and the Bloods to, like, make their own sodas. Like, it was called, like, Blood Cola and, like, Crip Pop or something. It sounds ridiculous, but, I mean, it's a real thing. Because, and his whole point was, like, white gangs trademark and, like, corporatized, which is true. I mean, I don't think any of them should be. I mean, like, it's all a front for illegal activities. Like, let's just be real. Not that there aren't other companies that are a front for illegal activities, but like these ones are pretty fucking obvious. Like, I don't know. Let's see. Method Man reminds fans he and his Power Book 2 ghost character aren't the same person. Well, yeah, one's a character and the other one's an actual person.
I mean, characters can be based off of people.
Well, yeah, they can be based, but it's normally not they're dramatizations. I mean, it's like anything. Like, if I wrote a book about my life, it'd be boring as shit, but if in my life there was an alien attack, I'm suddenly more interesting. Like,
aliens are real.
Probably. Oh, you know what's funny? Well, I didn't know about this, but DaBaby, his video shoot erupted in gunfire. Oh, damn, and one woman was taken to the hospital for life-threatening injuries. Was report according to the... videos. Oh, we probably should talk and not just be silent. In a second clip, police sirens. Okay. Well, I mean, apparently he was just waving a bunch of money around and etc. on like Instagram Live and out on the actual street. Look, man, like, yeah, let's see. What's the more possible shooting? Firm person was suffering from
Synergies.
A woman seemingly got hit at the shootout. There was a shootout. In a second clip, the police sirens become increasingly louder. I'm not laughing at what happened, but listen to the man behind the camera says, "They hit the lady, man. They was shooting at us and shot a motherfucking lady. She ain't die on the scene. I hope that lady makes it to the hospital and survives. Bitch ass," I ain't gonna say it. "Police, too. I ain't trusting none of these." I ain't gonna say it again. So what happened? Anyways, I saw a video the other day of another rapper. I don't know who it was, but he was at a music video shoot, and like they handed him, I think it was like an AK-47 or whatever. and he pulled the trigger, and it was loaded. Luckily, it was aimed like a little bit in front of him at the ground. But like they're using real fucking guns, and it's fucking loaded.
Well, yeah, that just happens. Like,
I mean,
that
but
actor.
how? Like, I know from The Crow, but
Yeah.
like,
Obviously, someone didn't do their job correctly.
no. Obviously, someone tried to kill someone. If you have to supply fake guns, and somehow you end up with a real gun, that's not an accident. I've never gone to the store for like pizza and walked away with a hamburger and been like, what happened? Let alone for a fucking gun. Those are murders.
Depending on where you get it.
Those are attempted murders.
Possibly.
You know, all you're doing is saying small statements and saying possibly.
Well, to be fair, it sounds like you're just doing your own podcast
Well, I'm
and
just
you're
talking.
not
You gotta
incorporating me.
talk.
So it's, well, in other podcasts, they incorporate the other person. You are just having your own podcast like always and just talking about these things. It's fine. I'm just saying.
Well, that's fair.
That's what's happening.
That's fair. Kind of. But, I mean, not really. You can talk and say your opinion on things like this. Like, yeah, I could ask your opinion more.
But you just said don't talk over me. So, and you've been talking nonstop, so it's kind of hard to say anything.
Well, yeah, you have to start talking when I finish the sentence, and then I'll stop.
But also, with this hip-hop news, I don't have anything to say on any of this, to be honest.
All right, that's fair. What do you want to look up?
Let's look
Let's look at
some crazy
reels.
shit.
Some crazy shit?
Let's,
I'm not going to type crazy shit into Google. God knows what'll pop up. Let's fucking check.
go to, did you ever used to go on to rotten.com? It's like, I don't know. I mean,
I've never. Something tells me porn's about to pop.
maybe it's porn now. I don't know. But it's
The fact that it's not loading is
it's
kind
a
of.
bunch of like fucked up stuff. It's just like videos of like terrible things.
Why would I want to go?
I
Why do
didn't
you
say
like
to go
such
there. I just said, have
weird-
you ever gone there?
No.
That's something. I didn't go on it often. It's just that's something I heard about when I was in like.
You heard about or you went on?
Well, obviously I went on, but it was like 7th, 8th grade, and so I would go on it. But
It's not a thing anymore.
yeah, it makes sense because there was some like weird.
It was a
ass
shock
shit.
site.
Yeah.
Active from Oh wow, to 2012. Damn, that was up a while.
Morbid curiosities. Pictures of violent
Persevere
acts,
sex
deformities.
act. This was like some weird shit.
Yeah, like I
Not
was
like
surprised.
weird, crazy, but like, yeah, this shouldn't be.
Well, it was the type of shit that
Something
it would
a
make
child
sense
should
that I'm
definitely-
like, this is on the dark web. But that was before I knew what the dark web was.
I mean,
but,
if you could Google it, it's not.
No, I know. But I was just surprised that this was just a site that was up and it's like, oh yeah.
What's popular news like? Pop culture. Pop culture. Let's see what. Entertainment. Let's see. Today, Amy Schumer captures a big. I just don't care. But accidentally botches it. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
This is the 7th time I tried recording that.
So far, all of these are like,
This is like today. This is like a People magazine. Rick
um,
Moranis was punched in the head in a random NYC attack.
who would attack him?
I don't know. That is a very interesting question. Let me make sure that wasn't too loud.
Who would attack Seymour?
Feed me, Seymour.
I love that movie.
It's okay.
That's a great movie.
I mean, it's good. I don't know. You know me. I don't know. There's very few movies that I'm like,
Who the fuck is Archie Lyndhurst?
a young actor.
Girlfriend
Oh,
Penn's
news of the young
heartbreaking
actor's death, bro.
have my
He
heart
died,
forever.
Katie.
What?
He died.
Oh, well, R.I.P. I wasn't talking shit. I just don't
You
know
just
who he
spit
is.
all over my arm.
It's love.
You didn't wipe it off. It was on the back of my. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Artists imagine what Disney princesses might look like pregnant and as new moms. See, this is the type of things we as a society need to be spending more time focusing on. No one wants to know how to solve poverty. They want to see Ariel pregnant. You don't got nothing to say to that?
No. I mean, to be fair, I look at all that shit.
I
Like,
know you do.
Disney princesses reimagined.
You take BuzzFeed
modern...
quizzes, fool.
Hey,
You're
hey.
like a regular ass fucking housewife. You're like, well, I'm just on my phone watching a soap opera while taking BuzzFeed quizzes. Wow, you got nothing to say, do you?
I don't have much to say to that. It's just like meaningless. Like, it's just like a fucking pastime. Like, it's just, I don't know. I find it entertaining in a stupid way.
All right. I mean,
You take them too.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
You will go, hey, take this, answer these questions.
Literally like a week ago, you took that quiz. Like, which potato are you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
We did a BuzzFeed quiz about
Yeah,
what
again,
potato are
if you were on and I'm sitting right there, and instead of actually being in the moment with me, you're taking a BuzzFeed quiz.
Because we're always in the moment.
No, we're never in the moment because you're always taking BuzzFeed quizzes.
That is not true. I don't take them that often. It's just when I'm really bored. They're entertaining.
Girl, you're scrolling through your feed all the time.
No,
I'm really bored a lot.
maybe. It's quarantine. Regis Philbin was depressed before
So
his
what,
death.
you'd be out at dinner nonstop
do
at the
that
other
at
things?
dinner.
Well, but that's what I mean. Quarantine doesn't actually change pretty much anything.
It does.
I mean,
Anyways.
not really. Anyways, fans are angry after Lana Del Rey wore a mesh face mask to a meet and greet. You know what's funny? So far, this is just us reading headlines.
You can't be angry at her for anything.
I mean,
I couldn't.
you could be.
It's
She could have
like
put
it
on.
could look mesh, but there could be like I've seen mesh ones where there's like also vinyl, so it's not actually see through.
I know, but that's not mesh.
Yes, I know, but I've seen ones where it's like
It looks like mesh.
but
Yeah.
there's also another covering underneath it.
That one's just mesh.
You don't know that.
I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it too.
Yeah, well, your
that could be
fucking eyes
something.
don't work, fool.
You know what?
That is mesh.
That could be that there's something underneath it, unless you can.
You can see through
Unless
it.
you can feel her breath. You don't know. Who's getting that close to her anyways?
A lot of people are trying to get that close. She's a celebrity. People are weird. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is for the first couple episodes or a while just gonna be us like reading off headlines or doing whatever.
Well,
That way we just need to get into the groove of it because we talk. Obviously, we've been together forever, but we talk fucking effortlessly like couples do.
so just talk.
Regularly. Well, I feel like you're not talking as much.
I am talking. It's just you're not giving me much to go off of other than headlines that
That's what
I
I
have
mean, though.
no
That's what I
interest
mean.
in.
You're not giving me anything. What do you want to look up?
Christian, we
Hold
can
on, hold on. Let's look up what Katie. No. Let's look up what
conversations.
Catastrophic wants. Cute cats.
Cute cats. That's the shit.
Yep. Look at all these cute cats.
No, I like seeing all the videos of cats on Instagram.
Is that a cat?
That's a
That's a doll.
That's a fake
That's
cat.
a doll. Okay. I was like, that's a freaky looking cat. Oh, those are pretty cats.
Oh, the cats.
Oh, the cats. Okay. I know it. I know what you want to look up. Cute dogs.
Cute dogs. That's just my baby dog.
That's just my baby dog.
Just cute little animals. Like,
Okay. Cute little
Cute
animals.
little
I'm glad we're really digging deep into the things that you enjoy in life.
All right, let's get into the hard-hitting questions. Do we think that
Don't say something.
President Trump was deliberately given COVID-19? Discuss.
Well, it doesn't matter what we think because he was deliberately given results that say he has COVID-19.
True. Like, I wonder if people are just getting, like, fucking positive... What is that
Well, to
thing
be
called?
fair, not that I think corona...
Diagnoses, right?
I don't know. Diagnoses?
I think it's
That
diagnoses.
sounds right. Diagnoses? Diagnostics.
I don't know. I'm still waiting to see, like, someone I know or someone I know that knows someone that gets COVID.
You know, if this were a popular podcast or if we were famous, we would immediately have so many tweets like, my uncle died from COVID. Maybe he should have been healthier. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, if you think about it, and I know I don't think doctors, right? Well, actually, to be fair, it has been proven multiple times that the medical industry has been bought out by big money and lied to the public. So it's totally possible. It is all a lie. It wouldn't be the first time doctors and scientists have lied. I mean, they all did the whole fucking, food groups and, you're supposed to eat lots of carbs, no fat. Well, that's not true. That's actually very unhealthy. It's the opposite. You're supposed to eat less carbs and fat and protein. But they said that for decades. And remember the food pyramid when we were kids?
Didn't they change that a couple of years ago?
They changed it like over a decade ago because it's retarded.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. The R word.
It is dumb though. The biggest thing, it was like the biggest pyramid, the part of the pyramid, the base of it was bread.
It was.
Yeah.
Like,
they were like, eat a shitload of bread and then a piece of fish. A block of cheese. Like,
well, to be fair, like, I just remember seeing that pyramid in, like, elementary school.
It made sense to me when I was 5.
I'm like, whatever.
10, yeah. 5 to 10, I was like, yeah. And then I think once I hit, like, high school and I started learning a bit more about actual nutrition, I think that's when they started to take it away was, like, slightly after high school because it doesn't make sense. So anyways, scientists can be bought, One study is bought, and then all the other scientists believe it because they believe it to be true. They trust the study.
Well, I think everything is just believing what someone else says.
I mean, but that's what I mean. So, like, it is entirely possible that the coronavirus could be a hoax. Now, it is not likely, partially just because hoaxes, right? You can fool, what is the saying? You can fool a lot of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all. You can fool some of the you can fool some of the people
you still
all of the time, but you can't fool all of the people some of the time.
That makes sense.
Hold
Say
on.
it again.
You can fool a lot of the people some of the time, and some of the people a lot of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
That was deep. I like that.
That made sense, I think. Hold on.
I mean,
You can fool. Probably shouldn't do that in the mic. Just you can fool some of the people. Yeah, all of the time. Yeah, see, I know this is a fucking. It's an Abraham Lincoln quote.
a racist.
A proven anti-racist in some ways. Don't you think it's weird? Like, if we're gonna analyze the logic of, like, Abraham Lincoln and, like, people of that era, they were like, yeah, black people shouldn't be slaves anymore.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be fool people. Like, that's not funny.
We'll give you half.
But it sounds
It's like,
because
okay.
because you have to think, okay, if you have the decency to go, these people shouldn't be enslaved. They're people. They deserve to be free. Which fucking obviously it's 2020. Obviously, I'm saying obviously. But then to be like, they deserve to be free. And then they're like, wait, so we get all the things that you get? And he was like, whoa.
Well, I think it's just to keep people lower on the food chain, to be like, we won't be racist like that, but I still don't want you to be my equal. So I'm not going to give you all the same opportunities. We just won't enslave you anymore.
I guess that's, they're saying like, well, slavery's so bad, even if I think you're below me, no one's that below me, which yeah, it's a good step. It led us to where we are, but it's still such
step in the direction.
It's in a direction. It's still crazy though. Like, to think about like recent racism, like the 60s, yada yada, like I can comprehend that, but like I just can't comprehend such older mentalities. Not only on like racism and whatnot, but just on like the way that people used to think. Like the fact that back in the day, like some people were drowned to find out if they were witches. And the real logic was, well, if they drown, they're obviously not a witch. And if they don't drown, well, they're obviously a witch. Like the fact that people were so dumb. And I would be dumb as well, because they weren't educated, and education wasn't even as far along as it is today. But to be like, wow, you know, if you don't teach children like higher learning, or not even higher learning, but just like how to think, they can be that dumb. Like if you do not teach people, they can be so dumb that they drown people to find out if they're witches. That sounds fake. Like, I know it's not.
It just depends on what you teach children. I know, but like,
I know, but here's my hot
we
take.
grew up differently. Like me growing up in school, like I was taught like major like the Bible and all this other shit, and it's just like. And so when I got out of high school, it took me a couple of years until I went to college, or I met other people that weren't just going to Christian schools, and I'm like,
Well, yeah, you also went to like a Christian high school, like
yeah.
But no, I don't mean like that people can think differently. I mean, I can understand how people in the 21st century can be indoctrinated by things like the Bible to an extent. It's the extremist level of things. You know what I mean? Like I
think those extremist levels come from a religious standpoint.
Well,
though.
I think most of the time they do. Well, because in regular had stroke. In regular life, you could be like, "Hey, if you don't do this, we're gonna take away your car," and it would be like, "That sucks." But in religious life, it's like, "Hey, if you don't do this, you're gonna burn in hell for eternity."
Or we're gonna torture
so heavy.
you.
Or we're gonna torture you until you see our God. Yeah, like what the fuck? I can get like that people are different, but that level of different, I know everyone says, oh, it's just about how you're raised. So if you were born over there, you would be that person. And I get that that's true, but I can't actually...
I wonder if that was actually true and everyone thought that way, or if there was something mentally wrong with some of these people. And because back then people didn't know any fucking better, and they didn't really think for themselves. They're like, oh, yeah.
Back then, I feel like the way you can say that that's not what it is that mental illness occurs in whatever percentage of the human population, right? But obviously that's going to deviate wherever you go. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's a little less. But if the entire community is extreme Christians, Muslims, Judaists, whatever the fuck, it's probably not mental illness. It's more that people are a herd animal. If you are born into a herd that says all these crazy things, and this is the biggest thing, which is why like cults keep themselves private and like blocked off. If you don't see a way out, you know what I mean? Like if you're born into a shitty household, but you have the internet, you could be like, oh, well, when I grow up, I'm just going to get away from these people. But that's why people aren't allowed to use like the, I forget what I was listening to, but they were talking about like Scientologists, and the one girl was like, or maybe it was like extreme Mormons. Anyways, like she didn't know even that there was necessarily like a world outside of her compound.
Well, true.
But
like,
you know what I mean?
Not a compound. What is that called?
It's a compound.
I thought it was a different word.
I mean, there's
from it.
probably multiple words, but like,
But yeah, because I was watching that TED Talk of that girl that escaped, that woman that escaped that commune. And she was just like, until I left there, like, I didn't know. She's like, this was just how I was raised. Like, this was just what I had to do. This is what I had to endure.
It's what she thought reality was.
And until she got out, because she's all like, I don't want to marry this man when I'm 13 or whatever the hell. And then she's like, oh, I don't have to. That's not normal.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If you think that your reality is the only reality, you're like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were born into a house and you could never leave that house, you would be like, oh, I guess the house, its rules, its properties is what reality is. There is no other. This is the only. So like, I get that. I get that if I was born into those types of situations, I would be the same way. But it's like, when I try and actually, not like empathize with it, but like, internalize that thought, it doesn't, it's so hard to imagine myself because I wouldn't be myself. You know what I mean? Like I could never be talked into joining a cult at this point in my life. Once you're old enough, for the most part, there are people who join cults and shit like that as adults. I would say they're
the same people that join pyramid schemes.
I feel like a pyramid scheme is a lot more understandable than a cult.
I mean, they're obviously one's like way more.
It's super extreme. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you're getting talked into something, but I think the pyramid scheme is more relying on people's want to free themselves from like.
Yeah, it's just looking for emotionally weak people.
Well, no.
It is.
It's not.
Because for cults don't get me wrong. Stuff, it's also promising family and community and all this other stuff. And
yes, but it's not taking care of or taking advantage of, I would say, weak people all the time. Because, like, I don't necessarily think... I don't know. It's hard to think because, like, okay, well, is that person weak because they were born into a place where they never learned that there's something other? Are they weak? I mean, you could say that they are weak. I mean... Not that they have to be weak.
Well, you're thinking of it as a negative. Like, you can say that you are emotionally weak and that is something you need to work on. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're bad because of that. It's just something that's how some people are. And, like, they should work through it or become better. Because, yeah, some people are weak.
That's fair. No, that makes sense. I mean, true. Some people are like, I'm physically weak. Some people are emotionally weak. To be real, some people are mentally weak. They haven't worked on understanding complex things, and whether that was because of environment or personal decisions, you know. I think for the most part, probably environment overall.
Yeah. All of it, emotionally, physically, it's just working on growth. Becoming
I mean, that's
better.
true. My whole point was I feel like a pyramid scheme is a lot less.
Well, obviously, that was more
like
so.
I can understand buying into a pyramid scheme. I can grasp the concept of buying into a cult, but I, as a 26-year-old man, cannot understand it. I get the concept, but because when I think about it, my brain is already developed, right? So, of course, if I was 6, I could be talked into it.
Well, even if you...
But for me, there is nothing you could say that would make me join a cult.
Well, even if you are developed and there's someone coming to you talking about... Because they never say a cult. They're talking about joining a community where...
I know cults speak.
And I get it, but if this was,
I was part of a sales team that went door to
if it
door.
was like years ago and you were emotionally in a bad spot or you were just more
That's what I mean.
vulnerable
I
to
get
certain
that.
things,
I'm saying I can get it in the past, but
obviously once you develop more, you can see.
I get it as a kid, but I just don't understand. I understand it as a kid and based upon your environment, but we all know people who've gotten involved in pyramid schemes where it's like, I know for a fact you're an intelligent person, but for some reason you either can't see this thing that is right in front of your face, which like pyramid schemes, me and Shaq talk about it all the time. When I used to do like homework at Starbucks and that's where we met at Starbucks he worked at, we would always bullshit. And like, there's always some sort of pyramid scheme going on in that Starbucks for some reason. And you could hear the people doing the spiel to the people they were trying to bring on. And you would hear like those key words like financially independent. Don't you want to be financially independent? Yeah, bitch, everyone wants to be financially independent. But no one asks, do you want to be financially independent? Unless it is a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
For the most part, obviously.
I think people just want to believe, like, oh, maybe this could be something like, what if I turn this
They're
down
almost too
and this
trusting,
is something.
or they're naive, essentially.
Yeah.
But, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I know people who've become successful in pyramid schemes.
Like, you can.
But the way you become successful in an actual pyramid scheme is by convincing other people to. So you have to then trick people to make money. Which, if you're fine with doing that, I guess, I don't know, it makes me question your efficacy. At minimum, it makes me question. Because if you're in a pyramid scheme and you admit it's a pyramid scheme, and then you're doing it, you're still a questionable person.
Yeah.
Especially if you're lying to people that it's not a pyramid scheme. But you're still a questionable person. But at least I know you're smart enough, like you know what reality is. If you're in a pyramid scheme and you're still tricking people, so still doing the same bad act, but you also can't even see it, it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like that's almost, like you could say it's worse to know you're doing a bad thing, but it's almost worse to not know you're doing a bad thing when it's so obviously a bad thing. Like, it's not like it's oh, I could see how you were tricked. You know what I mean? It's like, well, dude, every single person in your family was like, hey, man, that's a pyramid scheme. They showed you articles on what pyramid schemes were. Like, they proved beyond a doubt, but you just decided not to listen, basically.
Well, to be fair, it's like with my friend who was getting into a pyramid scheme, and then I tried to tell them, and like, this is a pyramid scheme. This isn't, like, don't do it. This is just, it's dumb. Don't do it. But just tooth and nail, like, they wouldn't admit that, like, this
you know,
isn't.
I know what friend you're talking about.
Yes, but if anyone watches, I'm not going to say a name. But
well, no, I know, but you know that they'll know that they're them, right?
I don't think that person will ever watch this.
You better hope not.
I know. But anyways, like, they want to believe,
I'm
like,
gonna post this as the clip for the preview.
Shut up. That, like, no, this isn't, because they also don't want to admit that, like, I'm gullible.
Yeah. They're choosing, and don't get me wrong, I've been involved in a door-to-door sales team, which isn't a pyramid, but it definitely uses similar language to convince people to join their movement. Because more than anything, they know that 90% of people who join the movement aren't going to make money, but they need that many bodies in order to get the 10% that will make money, and also to get their face in their product in so many people's face. It's just free advertisement. Mm-hmm. You might not buy from them then, but if they come up to your door and they're like, oh, hey, we're ADT Security. It wasn't ADT Security. It's another security company though. But if you get that product, even in their face, they might be like, oh, I'm not interested. And then later be like, oh, you know, I think we do need security for whatever reason. And they'll think of ADT. Mm-hmm. So you made no money, realistically. And, you know, to an extent, it is like, if you're willing to put in the work, you can. To an extent, it's also, if you're willing to be real, honestly, pushy with people. And it doesn't seem pushy because you're doing it in a, I guess, polite way.
But it's pushy.
But like you're essentially, they essentially tell you like put your foot in the door. Like whatever you can do to keep that door open, because then that gives you time to say one more sentence, and maybe that sentence you can turn it into a joke. Be like, I can't get rid of me that easy, and then they go ha ha, and then like it's a very weird. But yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it has to be a willful. There's people that you see where you're like, I could understand why you fell for that. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. And then there's other people, I know you're smarter than this. I guess that's life, though. That's like every mistake I've made. Every mistake I've made, it's like... Not every mistake, but a lot of mistakes you make. Oh. The GoPro died. Well...
It happened recently. I just looked at that like a minute ago and the red light was
I know.
still on.
I was just thinking after this little thing we should wrap it up because we've gone like 45 minutes. These only last like 40 minutes. Anyways, well, now it's just audio.
Cool. So you want to wrap it up?
I don't know. We can make weird faces.
To what?
Exactly. We can get naked.
Okay.
All right. Bye, nobody.
Bye.
You hit pod. You stop it. I started it. You hit it.